Donald Trump's entire career is you're fired.
Yep.
You're a loser. Rosie O'Donnell's a loser. Like, that's his whole shtick.
But the mandate is like very specific. It's like the basic policies of like, okay, immigration control. Can't just have an open border with no control of who comes into our country.
Right.
A desire to get.
Hi guys, welcome back in another show. You know, recent election about 2024, Donald Trump have the policies and what the Joe Rogan and Dave Smith talk about the Donald Trump policies about the election and the future of the country. Let's start.
Well, back then, they didn't know what he was going to do and what he did economically. Chamath has the best way of explaining it. He said it was the right message, it was the wrong messenger. But if you look at the actual actions and were they good for the economy, were they good for the United States, they were. But it's Donald Trump as the messenger was so polarizing that people lost what's really going on just based on who this guy is, who has, like, just like Tony Hinchcliffe is an insult comic, Donald Trump's entire career is you're fired.
Yep.
You're a loser. Rosie O'Donnell's a loser. Like, that's his whole shtick. And you expect him.
This was the Tony Hinchcliffe that Tony support to the other parties like Democrats, and he says Trump is losers. And,
course correct once you get into.
But the results come opposite, and Trump win the elections.
Office? No, he's not. That's not who he is. You elected that guy. But along with that, now you get RFK Jr., you get Tulsi Gabbard, you get Elon Musk, and you get J.D. Vance.
These are the personalities that Donald Trump gets, and because they have a positive impact on the society, and so the Republican become more powerful by coming the J.D. Vance, Elon Musk, RFK Jr. and Tulsi Gabbard. So these persons also have a particular role in the elections of 2024 and in the campaign of the Donald Trump. So what the Dave Smith tell about it, and what he has thoughts like. We know.
You get brilliant people who aren't ideologically captured. Two of them who used to be Democrats.
Right.
One of them that probably knows more about environmental polluting and about the problems with pharmaceutical drug companies and health and the consequences of all sorts of pesticides and herbicides, ingredients in your food that should be banned, and consequences and about the problems with pharmaceutical drug companies and health and the consequences of all sorts of pesticides and herbicides, ingredients in your food that should be banned that aren't banned in another country. You got that guy in there now.
Yep.
And we got a real chance to make real change. This is like one of the first times ever where there's a real chance to make real tangible change that's going to be for the good of everybody.
Yeah,
he's got to unite people. He's got to not attack the left and not attack everybody. Let them all talk their shit, but unite. Now it's time to unite everybody.
Well, 100%. And then there's even more guys.
You know, when you have person like Tony Hinchcliffe, they also call the other people wrong. So like Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, these are the men that have a large of audience, and these have positive thinking. So when these persons support you, you also win the campaign and also win the election like Donald Trump. What the Dave Smith told about it, okay.
I mean, Vivek Ramaswamy.
Yes, Vivek.
David Sachs. I mean, he's got some really smart guys
Vivek
who are
is a
very
wizard.
successful, who are really... Vivek's incredible. Just excellent and totally brilliant and so right about so many of the major issues.
Yes.
And look, I mean, Donald Trump now... He has a real mandate, which is like, this is kind of what's crazy. This isn't 2016 where, you know, he lost by several million votes in the popular vote, but won the counties.
In 2016, Donald Trump actually lost the lose in early voting. So, but at the counties and when the electoral college gave results, he got more electoral votes than the opposite.
countries that were important and just by the skin of his teeth got in. This is like, I mean, the last I looked, he was up by over 5 million in the popular vote.
Yeah, 5 million in the popular vote. And what was it when I went to bed? It was 312.
Yeah.
He had 312 electoral college votes.
Yeah, with still, I think, a few states, Arizona, I think hasn't, finished yet. And so it might even rack up higher than that. But the mandate is like very specific. It's like the basic policies of like, okay, immigration control. Can't just have an open border with no control of who comes into our country.
Right.
A desire to get out.
When illegals enter in the country, they also do problems. So Donald Trump has multiple times asked in the speech that he control the illegals. Okay.
Of stupid foreign
and
wars.
Stupid foreign wars. When you take the part in some other country war, this is also stupid foreign war. So Donald Trump also has a policy about it. Okay.
And obviously improve the economy, deal with inflation, things like that. But he's got a mandate to do that right now, and he's got some great people around him. Listen, I was rooting for him as hard as anyone except Tony Hinchcliffe last night. But I will say now till January 20th, the pressure should be on Trump to do better on the appointments than he did last time. He's got a lot of better people around him than he ever had in 2016 or 2020, but he was floating out Mike Pompeo as the Secretary of Defense, and he did have Mike Pompeo speak at his final campaign event. And to be clear, Mike Pompeo is Liz Cheney's pick for defense secretary. It's Hillary Clinton's pick for defense secretary. And so much of this will be lost if he puts that guy in there. He needs to keep all of the Lindsey Grahams and the Mike Pompeos and all of these guys away from his administration. Bring in the non-interventionists, man. No one wants to fight these stupid wars anymore. And that's what you ran on and won on.
I want Lindsey Graham to start a podcast.
That I'd be fine with.
We got to get those minerals. There's some expensive minerals over there in Ukraine.
Still having doubt about...
So this was the answers of the Dave Smiths, the nice places of Trump. So I hope you like this. Goodbye for the next.